What are the top qualities of a top performing sales rep? Well, that's what I'll be covering in this video. In fact, I'm going to cover the top 7. And I'm not talking about the daily habits. I've done videos on that. I'm not talking about how they pitch. I've done videos on that. Or how they close. I've done videos on that. I'm talking about the inner qualities so you can work on your inner game. Because even though this channel, and being the roof strategist, I focus on strategy, and strategy is very important. But as my coach, Devin Bandison, has taught me, our inner game, who we be, who we are, right? That's what's important. So I'm really excited to share this with you to help you be the best version of you because, hey, roofing sales is personal development in disguise. And the more you grow, the more you earn. And I can't wait to help you earn even more in this video. So welcome or welcome back. My name is Adam Bensman, the founder of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance. It's the Training and Growth Alliance, where we're building profitable, future-proof companies together the right way. Now let's rock and roll. Here are the top 7 qualities of top performing sales reps. We're going to start with number 1, which is a servant's heart. Top salespeople actually care. And I'm going to give you a few examples. Taylor Spears, I just interviewed him on the YouTube channel, fellow Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance member. He talked about relationship marketing and how he's giving to charitable causes. In this one example, it was for a breast cancer cause in supporting people local in his community. We have folks like Cody Landals, who's a mentor in RSRA, built and then later sold his company after figuring out how to sell roofs over the phone, doing over $2 million a month. And Cody is someone, when you talk with him, is dedicated to doing the right thing. Why? You just do what's right because that's what you do even when no one is looking. And that, in my opinion, is one of the definitions of integrity. Another definition is to be your word, do what you say you're going to do. And being a servant at heart, doing what you say you're going to do, showing up on time. If you make a commitment to a homeowner that you're going to deliver an estimate, that is being your word and being a servant. All right, now let's move on to number 2. The second quality is being a student. And you will find that the top salespeople, the ones that are bringing in the most money, they never stop learning. They have an insatiable appetite to chew through books, chew through podcasts, attend seminars. And they're looking in places that not everyone does. They might be obsessed with sales, which is great. You should be. You're in sales. Study the greats. But they're also looking in areas to improve upon things like communication, like studying Jefferson Fisher, who I just saw speak at the Genius Network annual event. And Jefferson did a fantastic job. He actually did a little panel with Chris Voss, and they were talking about communication and communication techniques and language and phrases and how we package up what we say. And all of that can be applied to sales. But they also have an insatiable appetite to learn how to develop personally, whether it's in time management or their spiritual practice. All of this comes under the umbrella of being a student. Number 3 on the list is they are coachable. Not only coachable, they seek coaching. You'll hear people over and over again. My mentor, I have to find a mentor, or I found a mentor, or this person on my team mentored me. Mentorship is one thing, but being coached and most importantly, being coachable is another. That's one reason why athletes tend to do pretty well in roofing sales is because they come from a background of being coached, taking feedback and learning and integrating. And coachable people, which by the way, as a slight side tangent for the owners and managers tuning in, coachability is one of the top 3 qualities I'm searching for in a candidate. Because coachable people can take feedback, and because they're a student, they're excited to learn and implement. So if you're wanting to become even more coachable, my advice to you is to go out, put yourself in a vulnerable position, whether it's doing role play, sharing audio recordings, whether it's using the Zero app, for example, or other maybe role play videos you've done to get real-time coaching and feedback from someone that you trust. When you're coachable, you improve really quickly. And when you learn how to coach yourself, it helps even more. And that's why we do, at least in my company, after action reports, where you reflect on your day or your week, what you did well, what you didn't do so well that you could do better, and then creating a plan from it. So when you seek coaching and you coach yourself, man, you're unstoppable. Number 4, they're spiritual. I have found that almost every top performer, in fact, every high earner has found this spiritual calling. By the way, I am not here to talk religion. I don't care what religion you are. I know that some people are very dedicated to their faith, and that's great if that works for you. But I wanted to cast this message far beyond, where no one feels isolated, left out, or judged, from pure love. Because in my personal opinion and experience, spirituality is connecting with love. It's connecting with the divine, whatever that word means for you, whoever that means to you, whatever religion, philosophy, belief structure, it doesn't matter. But when we connect to something deeper and we are driven out of integrity and purpose in a way that is far beyond our intellect, this is where we start seeing people have magical creations and magical impact. And the folks that we see that like somehow stumble into all these miraculous things that happen, referrals that come in, they're tapping into a spiritual practice or spiritual development. And everybody finds it in different ways. I've seen people tune into the channel that have said their daily practice is starting off reading the Bible or watching YouTube videos or inspirational audio series. Maybe it's meditating or doing yoga. But having some sort of spiritual practice can and will support your professional growth, but also keep you grounded in this incredibly chaotic, really high stress career. Number 5, and this is one you're probably not going to see a whole lot of places. It's emotional regulation. And I have to admit, I was not super emotionally regulated when I got into sales. In fact, I remember having a tantrum one day because I was 3 hours from home. I was on the phone. It was about 7 o'clock at night. I got on the highway on my phone call. In an hour in, I realized I was going the complete opposite direction. And what that meant is I was now 2 hours from my starting point, which was 3 hours from home. And I had an absolute meltdown. I darn near lost my voice in my vehicle, screaming at the top of my lungs. That is the perfect example of being not emotionally regulated. And when you watch sales folks who fall apart, they get rattled by customers maybe yelling at them, whether it's at the door or dealing with a customer conflict because things didn't go right. And when you are too easily rattleable, we end up carrying that emotional dysregulation with us to the next thing. And I know I did. Like, I'd get rattled and upset and I couldn't shake it. I couldn't compartmentalize it. It would carry into not the next minute, but the next hour, the next 2 hours, 3 hours, the next day, until I learned emotional regulation. For me, by the way, that big help was my dog. Her name is Maddie. She's a rescue. And she came from a really abusive place, and she acted as a mirror to me. Like when I'd have a little outburst or a tantrum, even if she was in the other room, she'd hide. Even if I was like, oh, dang it. Like just that, boom, she's gone. And it acted as a mirror to then, for me, practice emotional regulation, which was to create space from the action in my reaction. And if you've read my book, The Roofing Sales Survival Guide, you've seen it. I love Stoic philosophy. And there's only one thing that we can truly control in our, two things we can truly control in our lives, is our thoughts and our actions. So when we can create more space between what happens and how we respond, this is what helps us develop the emotional regulation that we need to bring our best and be our best for the people we serve. Going back to number 1, the servant's heart. Number 6, self-awareness. It is amazing how many people that you'll see in sales who aren't great. They lack self-awareness. And let me just describe self-awareness in a simple term that I heard once from a practitioner I worked with many years ago. And he says, I want you to think of self-awareness like almost watching yourself from up here in a movie. So you're observing yourself from outside yourself in a more objective way. And when we begin to have a level of self-awareness, we can now see through your eyes. I can see how you're viewing me. How's my body language? How is the way I carry my energy and the way I talk and treat you? How does it make you feel? That's self-awareness. And we can observe ourselves almost as the recipient of our actions. It acts as our own mirror. And through self-awareness, you end up becoming a really proficient communicator and salesperson. But without self-awareness, becoming coachable is really hard. Self-awareness is required to be coachable, required to be a student. And for you, if maybe you're struggling with like, man, how do I increase my self-awareness? Jump on YouTube. You're already on it now. Go take a look. Like, how can I become more self-aware? One thing that's helped me is that after action report. Always looking back. What did I do well? What could I have done differently? And for me, with this whole thing running a YouTube channel, I watch my videos and I'm embarrassed of the things I did a year ago, because if you're not improving. All right. Now let's wrap it up with number 7. In this one, that was 6. Let's wrap it up with number 7. And that is they're goal oriented. This one may seem obvious, but having clarity and vision and having something to chase, salespeople they're like lions. They get latched on to this thing that they want, and they go after it with this crazy sense of blinders and enthusiasm and energy and excitement. And speaking of which, if I were to add to this list to support goal-oriented, which now I'm going to throw in a bonus, it's they have a high level of enthusiasm and energy, because it's contagious. And enthusiasm and energy is how we be, is how we bring ourselves to the world, and it fuels our chase. It fuels the student in us. It fuels our desire to be a servant and do things right. It fuels our obsession for knowledge, and it fuels our ability to be coached and become the best version of ourselves. And that, my friend, are the top qualities of a roofing sales rep. Now, if you want to learn their daily habits, then jump into this next video, because I will teach them to you.